Pisces, welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot readings from the heart. I hope that you guys are really well. So today is your July 2016 through to December 2016 love reading. And how I do these readings is I start off with 9 cards and then I add clarifiers or just an additional card to each of those 9. So what I actually arrive at, should I say, is an 18 card spread. It's one that I really devised myself. And what I try and do now is for each section of 6 cards, which run down in a column, I will look at the story in each of those sections, okay? Taking different cards from different areas of different sections to build up maybe what I see within one. I hope that makes sense. You'll see as I go along. But there, I look at 3 stories now in terms of what's coming in for your love life. Should apply to you whether you're single, married, or cohabitating, or just simply in a relationship with someone. But we're going to have a look what's coming in for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising signs in terms of love between the months of July and December 2016. Interesting. This is very interesting reading. You know what's very interesting? I see for you Pisces, and it's almost like you're being careful between the months of July and December 2016. I'm sensing that you are thinking about relationships, but also that you're not really kind of looking at getting, for those of you that are single and you've been burnt or hurt, I do feel that you're on your guard. And all through these 3 columns, usually now I do it whereby for each set of 6 cards in a column, I'll look at an individual story. But it's almost like everything interlinks with this reading, Pisces, which is very interesting. The first thing that I see is the 9 of Wands for your love life between July and 2016. And I feel that for some of you guys, it might be, if you're in a relationship, something reaches boiling point and it's almost like, you know, I need freedom. I'm sensing that some of you guys will need freedom between those 6 months, because the 9 of Wands is often a card that represents we've been battered, we've been bruised, you know, we're really just tired of a situation happening here, okay? It's a card that represents something that just feels so tiring that you've got no choice but to move on from it. Because when you get a 9 of Wands in terms of love, it can often represent a relationship where something needs to give. It's got to that point where you just need some space. You can decide to stay together or you can decide to move on. And it's interesting that we have the Fool that shows afterwards. And the Fool represents new beginnings. Okay, now it can be for some of you guys, you have a new love interest coming in, because the Fool can represent a rather young person, or if it's not a young person, this is someone who's fairly immature. They're non-committal though. That's the only problem with the Fool card in terms of representing an individual, in terms of love. When you get a Fool, it's somebody who doesn't want to be tied down, Pisces. And they don't really want They don't want to be held back in a relationship. They want something to be free, to be easy. I get an impression that around you might be this person, and I feel that some of you guys will have had enough with that Nine of Wands. And I'm only looking at how the story unfolds. Okay? I feel for some of you guys between July and December 2016, Pisces, you'll have had enough of a relationship. I mean, really had enough of it. Because this Fool is very devil-may-care. And I don't feel that this is you. I feel this is someone else around you. And I feel it will get to the point where you say, you know what? I've given it all I've got. I'm exhausted. The Nine of Wands is often a card that represents exhaustion. Because you look at this guy and he's got a band-aid on his head. He's quite, that's a giveaway for this card. This person is sore. They've been hurt. They've been through the mill in a relationship. And it's got to that point, I feel that you're saying, you know what? I've kind of had enough of this relationship. I really, really have. And I feel that for some of you guys, because this Nine of Wands faces outward of the Fool, you're kind of looking in another direction. You've had enough of somebody's shenanigans between those months. Therefore, I feel that you decide, as difficult as it might be, and as painful, and the move forward will be painful, I feel, during the next 6 months, because we've got the Six of Swords. And the Six of Swords can represent where, some readers will say, well, you move on. And it is a card about moving on. But it's with great difficulty I find this card. Because even though it's a card that you're moving on, it also suggests that you've still got a lot of issues that you need to resolve, especially mentally. So sometimes this card can represent that somebody's still on your mind. And I feel that the relationship that you walk, I feel that this Fool card for some of you Pisces people will be a player. Somebody that just never committed. And maybe with this Nine of Wands, you stuck around for a very, very long time. So you put up with this person's bullshit, it would seem, for a very, very long time. And to me, this says, it's got, because remember, nines are old. As I always say, the nines are old. The Hermit represents the number nines. And he's going through a period of transition because he's old, and so he's trying to find the answers to life. And when he finds them, he can rest. He can look forward to death, and he can look forward to the transition. And this is really what the nines are. They're transitions. It's where you've come to a certain point where you have experienced everything, but now it's time for transition. For example, Nine of Cups for me can often represent someone who has everything. They've got friends, they have a good time, they have a good sex life, all of that stuff. But the one thing, and often the Nine of Cups can represent someone who has a lot of options. But the one thing they don't have is a solid partner, like someone that they can build an emotional connection with. I mean, a real emotional connection. So how I would look at that card is, it's come to the point where we have everything. This man is smug, he's fulfilled, he's happy, go lucky, but the one thing he really doesn't have is that one person that he can connect with. Same for the Nine of Pentacles. It's a woman this time, though. She's beautiful, she's independent, she's clever, she's built up her own wealth, she's fully independent, but the one thing that she doesn't really have is that person there. She's got lots of options like the guy in the Nine of Pentacles, but again, she just doesn't have that one person to share what she has with. Doesn't always represent that. It can just mean that you're quite abundant, even if you are in a relationship, quite independent, but often shows up for single people, these cards do. Same for the Nine of Wands in a way. But the Nine of Wands is where the heat is turned up, and it's time to cool it down. It's time for that transition now. It's getting to that point where we know that there has to be a change. And I feel that you guys will have recognised this. This is why you're turning away from the Fool, because the Fool doesn't recognise that you mean business. But I feel for some of you guys, you recognise that you actually mean business. Things change or I'm going. And I feel that you do go, because it's difficult though. Six of Swords. Six of Swords is where you're still thinking about the person, the thought of this person, the ideas are still there with you. Can mean trips and all that type of thing, but I feel that with this card, and I've experienced this card myself, the Six of Swords, where you're moving on, but it's a slow transition to moving, because you've still got all the memories there. There's still kind of, you're moving on, but you're still not clear. This card to me can often represent blurred vision. So even though you know that you've got to move on with that Nine of Wands, you've had enough. It still means, in a way, with the Six of Swords, but what if? This is, for me, is the what if card. I feel that you're going to try and move on for some of you guys during, excuse me, July through to December 2016. And I feel from there with the Page of Pentacles, you're going to be looking at new opportunities, because the Page of Pentacles often represent opportunities that come to you. So you're going to be probably looking to play the field for some of you guys, okay? Looking at opportunities, looking at what's out there, all right? It could represent a younger lover again with this Page of Pentacles, but I don't necessarily feel that that's what it is, Pisces. Could be a Virgo, Capricorn, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus individual, but I feel that this is more saying, you know what, I'm moving on. And I feel some of you will be so tender and so sore with that Nine of Wands energy. And then with still having those thoughts in your head, how do I get through this? I know that I need to move forward. You'll still be very practical and methodical about it. And you'll look at this new life that you're looking to create for yourself. And you look at the opportunities around you. But nothing is really... This is the small opportunity that is coming, because it's a Pentacle card. We're not talking about finance now. We're talking about love. So there's a potential in moving forward, I feel. However, I do feel for some of you guys that it will be a while, in all honesty, to get this person out of your bloodstream. Okay, to get this person out of your mind. Because we've got the Eight of Swords that shows there. Now, the Eight of Swords represents, again, and this is where the volume is turned up with thinking consistently about a relationship. I've seen this card many a time that represents mental torture. That's what I call the Eight of Swords, mental torture. Because it is mental torture. This person is bound, the swords are all over her, and it is mental torture. So I do feel for some of you guys, I know it doesn't sound great, I feel one of a few things really. The one thing to say is that for some of you guys who are in a relationship, excuse me, right now, it could be, and if you're feeling the energies now, that's the only thing I'm saying. This isn't if you're in a perfectly healthy, good relationship. I'm saying that if you've been going through these energies for quite a while, Pisces, it heats up with the Nine of Wands, where you get to the point where you have been exhausting yourself over a relationship. And I feel it will be with this person, because this person's kind of like, they're not really paying attention to how you really feel. And I feel that you try and move on. But I do feel that you're attached to this person, because otherwise, why would we have a number 9? Number 9s for me represents something that's been going on for quite a while. Because it's an old situation, something that's been going on for quite some time. And I feel that it's difficult to kind of move forward, because you've still got that lack of clarity, that blurred vision. All you want is the swords out of the way in that boat. But still, it's the thoughts. It's when you're, right from the moment you open your eyes in the morning till you go to sleep, that person will be there. You will try and look at new opportunities coming in, I believe, with that Page of Pentacles. But this person, I feel that you will find it difficult to get off your brain, because we've got the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Swords can mean mental torture. Okay, it can mean that you feel restricted in terms of just moving your life forward, really restricted, because everywhere you look, this person is. So I feel that this person you have been with, for some of you guys, for quite a while, this person is probably not listening to what you want, because he's the fool, he or she is the fool. It's got to such a boiling point now that you have no choice but to try and move forward. Very difficult, but you're taking it one step at a time, Page of Pentacles, looking at realistic. And also with the Page of Pentacles, it can be that you're looking at the situation from a very kind of responsible point of view. You know that in order to move forward, Pisces, that you have to deal with the situation, you have to deal with your feelings. So this is why I feel that we've got some very kind of responsible cards, responsible but passive cards that are showing up. Because the Eight of Swords says, well, I've still got this person on my mind and it's mental torture. I just can't get rid of the thought of them, even though I know what I'm doing is for the best. And the final card shows us the Knight of Pentacles. And I feel that this is more an energy than a person. I feel that this Knight of Pentacles says, because he's not riding towards you, he's riding out of you. So I feel that this is really a transition from the Eight of Swords, where the Eight of Swords says, yes, I do feel mental torture, but the Knight of Pentacles says, one step at a time, dear Jesus. Do you know what I mean? He's like, one step at a time, sweet Jesus. Do you see what I mean? It's like, yes, I feel mental torture. I'm finding it difficult to move on. I'm having to be responsible and really look at this situation for what it is with that Page of Pentacles and Six of Swords. I can't carry on in this relationship because this person's not listening to me, and I feel that I have a lot of battle scars within this relationship, emotionally wise. I do feel completely weather-worn and also completely absorbed by the energies of this individual, Eight of Swords. But one day at a time, sweet Jesus, Knight of Pentacles. I'm moving forward one step at a time. I'm making new plans and I'm being really responsible about the way that I'm going about things. So I feel that that is part of the scenario for some of you Pisces people, especially if you're in a relationship that really somebody is not listening to you. And the Fool is often the card of somebody that doesn't listen. Because the dog in the back of this card is the person who's either saying to them, hold up a minute, and the Fool says, you know, piss off, I'll do whatever I want. Or it's the card of the Fool is not listening to what his subconscious is telling him. So he's not noticing what the hell's going on in the relationship. He's just doing what he wants to do. And I feel for some of you, it's a case of, I've had enough. But it's going to take time to get this person out of your system, I think. What I'm also seeing is for some of you, you might be on your guard about new relationships. Because we do have that Fool facing you on that Nine of Wands. So you might be wary of new relationships coming in. You might be on your guard. For some of you guys, you're at the completion stage of ending a relationship, because nines represent that you're at that point where a new cycle is about to begin and there is something old that is now gently working its way out of your system. So that Nine of Wands, if that's completion, and then the Fool says new beginnings, then I do feel that there are new beginnings in love, okay? For some of you, you might be travelling between the months of July 2016 and December 2016 to see a younger lover, because we've got a page that shows up here. So for some of you guys, there could be some travel involved in relationships, and I feel that this might be with somebody new, somebody who is younger, could be a fire sign, not fire sign, sorry, an earth sign, male or female, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus individual potentially. I am seeing some travel happening here, and it's a new relationship after, maybe for some of you guys, you haven't even been in a relationship for quite a while, because Nine of Wands is, remember, old. So it's completion. So a time of being alone might be over. Remember, the nines often refer to solitude actions or solitude behaviour. So the Hermit often represents maybe a single person sometimes, or somebody who's doing something in private, or somebody who wants alone time. So nines usually represent people who are single a lot of the time. And I feel that this completion of the nine says, you know, a time of being single might be over for some of you guys, and there's a new relationship coming in terms of the Fool. And I do see you travelling maybe to see this person. The Eight of Swords might mean in terms of a new relationship, because usually it talks about restrictions. So it would seem that maybe for some of you guys, it could be that if you've been on your own for quite a while with that Eight of Swords energy, that you don't really know what to do, if that makes any sense, or you're kind of feeling a little bit nervous, because the Eight of Swords can often represent feeling nervous or a sense of frustration about something. Yeah, there's a sense of frustration here for some of you guys, I feel, in a new relationship. Okay, maybe for some of you guys it's that something is moving quite slow, because the Knight of Pentacles is slow movement. Okay, he doesn't move particularly quickly. So frustration in slow movement. So what some of you guys might want something to happen quite quickly, but it might be taking its time within the 6 months. This person might be busy. They might be the Fool, somebody who does a lot of travelling. Okay, they might work within finance, Page of Pentacles. They might travel for their career, and maybe this is where the frustration comes in for some of you guys, because this person is always travelling, and the Knight of Pentacles can also represent travel. We have a fair few travel cards here: Six of Swords, the Fool, and the Knight of Pentacles. But I also see frustration around this. Okay. So though I feel that for some of you guys, yes, it's an ending of a relationship you've had enough of, you might be taking time to work through those feelings over the next 6 months. Okay? And you generally, one step at a time, get to where you need to go. I also feel that for some of you guys, if it's going to be a new relationship, it might not be that you see this person all the time. They might do a lot of travelling for their work, I feel. We have a Page of Pentacles card in there, and also a Knight of Pentacles card. Both cards can relate to work and travel. Well, not so much the Page of Pentacles, but definitely the Knight of Pentacles can relate to travel and work, as well as the Fool relating to travel. Okay, and maybe you've had enough, or you're feeling a sense of frustration around that. So for some of you guys, I see a new relationship coming in, but I don't feel that it's going to be a relationship that you see this person all the time. There might be some distance there, and it might be because this person needs to travel for work, and it might be making you feel frustrated. And for some of you guys, I do see you moving out of a relationship, but I see the energies of this person are still on you for quite some time, and you're just going to be working quite responsibly and methodically towards rebuilding your own life. Let's have a look at the other story. Well, we've got the Nine of Pentacles, Nine of Cups showing here, which shows fun, smugness, having a good time. It's usually about social gatherings. It's usually about someone who's got a lot of notches on their belt. This again could be a non-committed man, okay? We've got a Queen of Swords energy here. The Queen of Swords energy is someone who often looks at things in terms of how realistic something is. So she's not someone who is in the heady or giddy sights of love. She can also be someone who is single, all right, widowed, or just simply doesn't have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whatever, on her own, and she's a little bit of a spinster. Some of you guys might turn your back on fun or having love, because I'm looking at the Four of Cups underneath this reading. And when you get a Four of Cups, it's whereby I don't really want love. I don't want anything new. I'm happy with the way that things are. I am seeing a rejection of, it could simply be that I want to fall in love with someone who can supply me with a strong, stable, secure relationship. And I'm not really interested in getting with someone who doesn't or isn't able to supply that. Because we've got two cards that show that you want security. Pisces. We've got the Queen of Swords, and she seems to be facing the Four of Wands. This is the card for the second section, but it doesn't matter. I interrelate the cards, as I said before. She's facing the Four of Wands, but she's got her back to the Nine of Cups. Can you see that? So it's almost like she's inviting in something that is stable and secure, but she's rejecting something that is just a bit of fun. And I feel that for some of you guys, you are going to be rejecting just having like one night stands, just having a bit of easy fun. I feel that you want something that's buildable. Okay? And that's because also we've got that Four of Cups showing up. And this is whereby, I'm doubtful of a relationship, or I'm doubtful of what's being offered to me. So I think I'll just keep things the same for the time being. And I feel that in relation to this is the Queen of Pentacles. So the Queen of Pentacles is all about a stable home life as well. She's about a mother, somebody who nurtures. She's like the Empress, beautiful beauty. She's about kindness. She's about planning, being methodical, trying to make progress in terms of building a stable, secure, sweet life, husband, children, that type of things. So I do think that you guys, because this Queen of Swords seems to be facing the Four of Wands, I do feel that there is a rejection of just having one night stands, or just having kind of easy relationships, and that you're far more looking towards having something quite stable and buildable with someone. And I feel that you are doubtful of love that is coming in, because we have the Four of Cups. This person is doubtful. So he's kind of stopped looking for love in a way as well, because he's disappointed by his experiences. So he just focuses on what he has at the moment, and he's not seeing that love is being offered to him. For some of you guys, it will be because the type of love that's being offered to you, you're kind of thinking, I don't really want that. I don't think this person has my best interests at heart, or they're not really on the same page as I am. And for some of you guys, it will be that maybe you just don't trust it. But you are, for me, looking at building love. For some of you guys, I feel that you might be concentrating on your careers instead of love, in terms of your love lives during July 2016 through to December 2016. But I also feel that you're looking, or you're still very much aware of loss in the past, because we have a Five of Cups, and it's right underneath this Four of Cups, which is interesting. So we've got this Four of Cups where somebody is rejecting new love or a new offer, and directly underneath that is a Five of Cups, and I feel that will be because you've lost in love, or you've had a relationship that's not worked out, Pisces. So I feel there is a rejection here because of this. You've lost out in love. You've lost in love, sorry, so therefore you reject it. So I feel that there is a fear of kind of making mistakes in terms of the wrong partner. You don't want to get hurt again. The Magician shows up right next door to this Five of Cups. So it's not going to last long, but I feel that, it's more for you guys of looking at creating something new, powerful, and I feel that you have very powerful ideas. I just get a sense that you have very powerful ideas of creating stability between between July 2016 to December 2016, because I can see that the Magician points straight upwards to this Queen of Pentacles. And it's almost like you have very powerful thoughts, very, very powerful thoughts of what you want to create in terms of a relationship. Can you see those two cards, how the Magician points directly up to the Queen of Pentacles? And Queen of Pentacles is a card about security. So I feel that you're looking at your security, and that's why you seem to be turning your back. Your intuition, your thoughts tell you, I should turn my back on this Nine of Cups. So for some of you guys, it could be that your play days are over. You're sick of having the one night stands, or even if you don't have one night stands, you're sick of sort of just playing the field. And Nine of Cups for me can be a card where somebody just dates here and there. But you're sick of just dating here and there. What you want is something really, really stable that comes in. Okay? And I believe that you will get it at some point. But I do feel that after loss, after going through a very, very painful situation with someone, it could be this Nine of Cups person as well. Somebody may have come into your life, played the field a bit with you, made you feel really wonderful with that Nine of Cups energy. But then you realise they weren't for you. Your head, Queen of Swords, realised, if I'm looking at this realistically, I don't feel that this person's behaviour or their actions tally with what they're telling me. Because the Queen of Swords faces the Four of Wands and also the Seven of Swords. To me, this is deception. If you look at the Four of Wands, well, what does it stand for? Four of Wands can be a relationship. It can be happiness, but it could be deceptive happiness. Because somebody might be playing around. For some of you guys, you might have found out that somebody was playing around in terms of a social environment. Okay? And maybe you're scared because we've got the Nine of Wands that shows right up after that. Can you see how the Nine of Wands guy looks over at the Seven of Swords? And he's saying, I don't trust you. And I feel for some of you guys, this is you. There's somebody who played around. You didn't trust them. You knew what they were up to. You thought that you were in a good relationship. And that's why it seems that you've turned your back on them, because this person wasn't fully committed to you. Therefore, you're doubting things with them. It's probably ended in loss. And now you've got your eye and your thoughts on creating a secure relationship. So no, I feel for some of you guys, yes, there are options around you, but I do feel for some of you, you've been hurt. And you're really unwilling to play the field with several different lovers. What you want is security, but you need to get over the hurt first. And I feel that you're going to be getting over it because we've got that Magician sitting right next to it. If you look at the Five of Cups, it's a card about disappointment, feeling hurt, feeling let down, feeling that you have lost in love. But the Magician shows up right next door to that card, which says, aha, but I know exactly what I want. So I see you coming out of this energy. I see you really knowing what you want, Pisces, in terms of love between July through to December 2016. And what you want is security, because the Magician points straight up to that Queen of Pentacles. You want security. And that's what you're going after. You're not interested in this. Four of Swords and Queen and Seven of Swords. Somebody who's playing around, probably with several people. What you're interested in is this Four of Wands, a committed relationship. And finally, let's have a look at the final story that I'm seeing here. Well, we've got a Four of Wands and the Seven of Swords. There could be deception in a relationship, as I've said, and we just looked at that, touched on that within the second story, but it looks like a deceptive relationship within this Four of Wands scenario. So it looks like you're happy for some of you guys, but there is something about, I mean, both cards can mean moving as well, okay? But I'm just looking at how this Nine of Wands guy is looking over at the Seven. They're both facing each other. Both facing each other, which is interesting. When you get cards that interact with each other, it's a behaviour. There's two people involved here. Now, neither of these represent your astrological sign, Pisces, but it doesn't matter. I feel that you're on the Nine of Wands. I feel that you're very, very apprehensive about a liar between the months of July and December 2016. But I feel that this person might give you a lot of happiness because we've got the Four of Wands there. But this is why your hands are tied, because we've got the Hanged Man showing up. I feel that some of you guys might feel your hands are tied in a relationship because you have, it seems to be that for some of you, you might have a wonderful relationship, but you know what's going on with your partner. You know this person probably isn't being honest, isn't being true. Therefore, we have the Hanged Man here. Well, I'm in a little bit of suspense about this relationship. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to deal with this situation. I'm trying to make some major adjustments here, but I'm just not sure. However, it seems that you are released from this uncertainty because we've got a Page of Wands, and this is the card of, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to take a risk, and I think I'll walk. For some of you guys, I do see you walking away from a deceptive relationship, as I saw in the first reading. Okay, but this was more about somebody who wasn't committed. This is literally, I feel, about somebody who's quite deceptive around you. And though you're happy with them, I feel that, and your hands are tied, I feel that you make a decision just to go with your intuition, just to go with your gut feeling with that Page of Wands card. I feel that you're able to overcome doubts because we have the King of Cups that shows up here. And the King of Cups says, you know what? I'm feeling quite logical about this. I'm able to control how I'm feeling. The Hanged Man, he's very controlled, but sometimes it's not a great card because it means that you don't make decisions. You just leave things hanging. But the King of Cups is actually strong enough and self-aware enough to say, okay, this is going to be difficult, but I'm just going to have to bear it. And I feel that you do. I do see, though, an energy here that doesn't feel comfortable because we've got the King of Cups. And even though you're Pisces, you should usually be a Knight of Cups, but it doesn't matter, it's a general reading. This must be you because it's Cups. And you're facing this Five of Swords. It seems between July and December 2016, some of you guys might be facing a difficult situation, but it seems that you're holding your own, and it seems to be against someone who is trying to take advantage. And I feel that this is the Seven of Swords person who's trying to take advantage within a relationship of the Four of Wands. There is going to be some time where you put things on hold because your hands are tied. You might have bills. You might share, things that you need to pay out. You might have even bought a house together. But I do feel that you decide to take a leap of faith, and maybe this is where this comes in, the Six of Swords, that you need to move on because you are worried about this individual. Nine of Wands is directly looking over at that Seven of Swords. He doesn't trust this person here. There is a lack of trust showing up in some of your relationships. Very, very interesting reading. I do feel that some of you guys are going to be starting again. I do feel, Pisces, that for some of you guys, it could also be good. Because Four of Wands and the Seven of Swords, to me that represents, it reminds me of moving home. Four of Wands can be a moving card, Seven of Swords can also be moving. So I do feel that some of you guys are moving in potentially with a partner. I do feel that there are some major adjustments you're going to be making with the Hanged Man. The Page of Wands says that you're going to be taking a leap of faith. But it's this King of Cups and Five of Swords energy that I don't like. I don't like that these cards are facing each other because it looks like a fight or a battle. But also it can be an appeasement because the King of Cups to me is stronger than the Five of Swords. Look how he sits and just watches the guy on the Five of Swords, as if to say, don't worry, I'm actually stronger than you are. I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. In all honesty, I feel that some of you guys will move in with someone between these months, maybe that you shouldn't move in with. It sounds really weird, and I'm trying to give you a nice reading here, I really am. And I'm sure there's some wonderful things coming in. I am seeing new relationships happening. I really am. Okay? Especially with this Nine of Wands. Time of Loneliness is ended. New beginnings. You're moving to see someone. There's a little bit of frustration, yes, because this person seems to move slowly. They might always be travelling. You might not get to see them that much. Yes, fair enough. But I do see moving in with a partner potentially. There's many adjustments to make with the Hanged Man. Maybe you're having to try and adjust or trying to adjust your viewpoint of someone that's in your life within the next 6 months that you're just not sure about, but you go ahead with something anyway. And that would be your Page of Wands energy. Because Page of Wands sometimes isn't just about taking a risk. It can also be a card of where you just say, I'm just going to do it anyway. Because he doesn't think, he's young. Immature energy. Page of Wands is immature. He's, as I always say, he's like the child in the sweetie shop, that 1 minute he wants the lollipop, that the next minute he wants the chewing gum. You know, so this can be an immature thinking around this situation. Maybe for some of you guys, you're going to think that you can change somebody. Because I'm looking at this King of Cups, which is you. And you're trying to appease someone here. You're thinking that you've got it all sorted out. But I feel that this situation, if you know of it, or if it comes upon you in the next 6 months, can only lead to frustration. Because of that 8 of Swords energy. I do see some of you guys moving in with someone who you think that you can control or appease, or even, you know, get them to be what you want to be in this reading. But I feel that if you're dealing with an energy like this, Pisces, don't bother. Because I don't think you'll ever appease this type of person. I really don't feel that you will. I think it can only lead to frustration. Yeah, that's your reading. Really interesting. I'm sorry if I haven't told you all hearts and flowers. I just, as you can see, I shuffle the cards, pull them. That's that. That's what I do on readings. We're going to quickly recap on this so everybody's got the story straight. Some of you guys had enough of a relationship. 9 of Wands. And it's because of this Fool, somebody who's not committed. So you decide to move on with the 6 of Swords. But the problems and the ideas and the thoughts are still there. You're going to find it difficult probably to get over someone. You will be looking at this relationship that you've had quite realistically. However, I feel that it will be mental torture. 8 of Swords, getting over this person. However, you do it one day at a time, sweet Jesus. Knight of Pentacles. By methodical planning, moving forward, and just taking it one step at a time. For some of you, you'll reach an end of being alone. 9 of Wands. And you're stepping into a new relationship before. You may be going to travel and see this person. I see a trip. Person might be younger, Page of Pentacles. Might be a Earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Doesn't have to be. Might simply be a younger lover. However, I think that this person does a lot of travelling. Because we've got the Fool card here. 6 of Swords and also the Knight of Pentacles. Can be travel cards, okay? And I feel that it leaves you feeling frustrated. Maybe you don't see enough of this individual. I do see a new relationship coming up for some of you guys. The other energy is some of you guys have had enough maybe of playing the field, or you've had enough of meeting bad boys or bad girls who only want to sort of play around and sort of serial date. You seem to give up on this. 4 of Cups. It's the card of giving up, it's the card of doubt, it's the card of disappointment. And it could be because you've lost something in a relationship before. Could be to do with loss with this 9 of Pentacles. For some of you guys, you might have fallen for someone who wasn't really particularly honest or good for you. And you are experiencing the loss. 5 of Cups. But it doesn't last long. Because as the Magician, you know that you have control of your life. And the Magician points straight upwards to that Queen of Pentacles energy. And the Magician is actually thinking, and you are the Magician, Pisces, actually, I don't feel so bad now because I know exactly what I want and what I want to create. I want a good old, stable, secure relationship with someone, and I'm not going to stop until I get it. Simple. And also, the Queen of Swords turns its back. This is your thinking. When you get a Queen of Swords, often I refer her to what somebody's thinking. If somebody says to me, someone thinking about me, and the Queen of Swords come up, often this makes me feel that they're thinking about someone. So you turn your back, and this is because you've got it straight in your mind what you want. Remember, she's very perceptive. She's very much a clear thinker, is the Queen of Swords, and she's turned her back on that. And what she wants is the 4 of Wands. A relationship that she can build on, feel happy and feel secure in. So for some of you guys, you've had enough of playing the field. And what you want is a happy, secure, loving relationship with someone between July and December 2016. For some of you guys, you'll be fully aware of something of a deceptive relationship here. Four of Wands and that Seven of Swords. Whenever I see a house and the Seven of Swords, it represents something's going on, some deceptive, maybe even affair. For some of you guys, you might be well aware that maybe your partner's having an affair, and there's a lack of trust in that, which probably means that you don't trust this person, you're not willing to listen to their advances, and maybe the relationship's over. Five of Cups, because what you recognise is you want something honest and secure with that Magician and Queen of Pentacles. There might be a holding period, Hanged Man, before good news comes in. The Page of Wands. For some of you guys, the last story was Four of Wands, Seven of Swords. I pretty much feel that you know that there's someone deceptive around you within the next 6 months, but you go along with it. I feel that your hands are tied, the Hanged Man. You don't quite know what to do. You're kind of just letting things slide for a little bit because it's difficult for you to let go. For some of you guys, you take a risk and you let go. Page of Wands seems to leap out of the Hanged Man. Page of Wands is an active energy. The Hanged Man is sometimes seen as a passive energy as far as I'm concerned. So you get the Hanged Man and a card that moves. It means that there's movements after a time of there being a hold on something here. But I do get the distinct impression that for some of you guys, you know there's something deceptive within a relationship. And I'm seeing that some of you guys might be moving into a home with a partner and you choose to ignore what they are. Because the Seven of Swords can represent a lack of trust. And we have the Nine of Wands person looking directly over at the Seven of Swords. Excuse me. The Nine of Wands means when you're apprehensive. And the Seven of Wands swords can mean distrust. So apprehensive about distrust. Apprehensive about a distrustful situation with that Four of Wands. You don't quite know what to do. But the Page of Wands sometimes be an energy where you just say, you know what, I know what's going on, but at least I've got a man, or at least I've got a woman, so I think I'll just go along with it. That's your Page of Wands energy, where it's immature thinking, you're not thinking things through. Because what you're feeling is, as the King of Cups, well, I've got this sorted, and actually, look at how imposing the King of Cups is at this. Actually, I can appease this individual here. So I think I'll just go along with it because I can actually change them. And sometimes people aren't changeable. Sometimes what they are is what they are. Very interesting reading, Pisces. I hope you got all of that down for between July and December. I'm sorry if you don't think it's particularly good news. There is new relationships coming in, but I just feel there'll be a bit of distance. This person, they are reliable because Knight of Pentacles shows up, but they might just be focused on their career quite a bit and might be doing a lot of travelling. So that's your reading, Pisces. Your love reading. I will be back with your life spread reading very soon, way before July starts, and also your July general reading for the month. So stay tuned for that, guys, and I will see you soon. Take care.